Hi everyone, we're back again. If you're new here, my name is Danny James, and in today's video, I'm going to give a simple guide to making smoother cross-dissolve transitions. If you're new here, kindly consider subscribing, and if you end up enjoying the content, kindly give it a like, and without further ado, let's jump right into it. On my timeline, I have these two clips, and I'd like us to apply a simple cross-dissolve transition in between these two clips. How we'd normally go about this, you just go to your Effects tab, and look for a cross dissolve and drag it in between your two clips. We'd usually apply it right in between the two clips, and to extend the time we just drag from here. Okay, so while this is still a good option to go for, it's not actually the best if you're looking to get a smooth transition between your clips. As opposed to dragging these cross dissolve right here, my advice is to simply come to your effect controls and drag it here. This way you're able to control which side gets the advantage over the other. And in this way, what I'd usually do, I'd come on this other side and extend this. When the cross dissolve is on this side, it means that this clip will be introduced much more slowly into this. And now let's look at it. So it's much slower, and it gradually brings these other colors of the next video here, which is a good thing. Now I want to show you a different way to go around this. I'll just delete this cross dissolve. A better way to also go around this is to separate these two clips, and then just you can have them overlap over each other, and now you can place the cross dissolve individually on top of these clips. So let's make sure it's around 20 frames right about here. So just try to ensure these cross dissolves sort of match somewhere, and let's look at it and see the difference between this and the other one. There is a minute difference, so through this way you're able to control what overlaps the other one much better, and you have some sort of control over your clips. Now I have this trick which I'll show you. Let's go on this separate video right here. It's a different scene, so let's just look at it. It's a b-roll of a car and a b-roll of some artists. Now let's do the same thing which I showed you. Let's drag this clip here and we can extend it here. So let's make sure it's around 20 frames. It's not a must, just I noticed 20 frames is a really good starting point. Now let's apply this cross dissolve on these two clips individually. If you need this transition to be your default, all you need to do, you need to right click on the effect, whether it's the transition, right click, and then you can choose it as the selected default transition. Let me show you quickly. I'll just trim down this area. So this clip is actually much more smooth. Yeah. So let me show you a cool trick. What I really do, come right in between on this clip, make a cut. I can drag this razor tool and make this cut right over here. Now from the rest of this clip, which is right above, simply go to your effect controls and play around with the blending modes. Now you can just scroll using your scroll wheel. So you can see when it's at multiply, there is something different happening as opposed to normal. You can see we are able to introduce some parts of this clip underneath. You can go for these linear light, and you can see we have some sort of contrast happening. And now if I play this, yeah, you can see there is something unique about these colors which pop into the frame. They sort of have this big contrast which makes it a little bit more unique. Now you can play around with these settings and the blending modes to see the different outcomes. I found somewhere around luminosity, linear light, and vivid light, they seem to have some good results. Yeah, like this one for luminosity, you can see the colors really pop in very well and they blend into the frame. So this is a unique way to go about your cross dissolve transition. Try repeating these on your clips and see the different outcomes you can get. I want to show you something from this clip which we did earlier on. We had this bright scene and the other one which is a dark scene. Now let's make that cut right here, just from the previous example. And on this clip, let's go to luminosity, and you can see what it looks like. It brings some elements of color from this next frame. So it's a little bit unique and eye-catchy. to someone who has an eye for detail. I also played around with the divide, and it gave me this sort of invert look. Though it isn't the smoothest one, it still gives you some unique change of things. So this was actually one of my favorite parts about this. It also plays around with the colors really well. As I said, play around with these settings, and I found luminosity, divide, and linear light to give you some good results. I hope you've learned something from this tutorial, and in case you end up doing something like this, you can tag me on Instagram. My handle is right beside the screen. Also, if you have a question, query, or suggestion, kindly leave it in the comment box below, and I'm very happy to interact with you guys. My name is Danny James. See you in the next video. Cheers.